There's just a little Aussie spider and a green ant. That little spider, I was taking the clothes off the line and he just jumped right out of a peg onto my arm. There's another another ant. Anyway, that's just some bonus footage. G'day everybody. By chance, I've got myself a little bit of an unboxing of two battery powered blowers, completely by accident. Just happened to have the Ryobi, and I got a Ego one for free, I guess you could say, as a redemption when I bought my Ego lawnmower. And I got a battery as well, and that's still part of the deal that's current, and I think it ends in September. Anyway, because I've got the two of them and they're both still in the box unused, I thought, hell, why not open the box up, or the boxes up, pull these two blowers out, obviously totally different qualities. I looked up the prices of them, and Australian dollars right now, the Ryobi is $119 and the Ego is $349. So I'll swing it around, the camera that is, and I'll just show you the two boxes and get back. So there we go, we got the two Ryobi blowers, both still in the boxes. I've got, to do the little testing, here's two Ryobi batteries. One's a 5 amp hour, which is about 2 years old, and the other one is a 4 amp hour battery. That's not as old, but they're both fully charged. And to give it somewhat of a fighting chance, this is the smallest Ego battery that I own. I think it's the smallest one they make, and that's a 2.5 amp hour. But that's a 56 volt compared to 18 volt. And again, I'm not saying that it's not a apples to apples test. It's just to show you, I just have them, so I'm just going to show you what each of them does and the money price point. Is it worth spending the $120 on something that does probably 80% of the work that the other one will do? Or do you spend the extra money? I've got no idea at this stage, because I obviously haven't used the Ego before. But what I can tell you though is the Ryobi, I've got the old one and it still runs. I've had it for 16 years. 15 to 16 years. It's done a hell of a lot of work. It was definitely getting a little bit tired. I might even turn this around. So my original Ryobi cordless blower, one of the 18 volt 1 Plus lithium series, I had it for about 15, 16 years, and again, it's not a powerhouse, but it actually did nearly everything that I needed it to do. So when I do the mowing or whatever, it would blow the dry grass off the driveway, out of the gutter, etc. like that. It wasn't very good when the grass was wet. And it wasn't a powerhouse, but you know, if you've got some dry leaves that are falling around your patio or around your courtyard or something like that, as long as they're dry and they're not stuck to the concrete or your deck, it'll do most jobs. And for around that, for the skin only price of around that $120-ish, I think, yeah, it's not too bad. If you want a little bit more performance, Who knows, actually? Untested, haven't used the Ego. The petrol ones will definitely probably give you more performance than the Ryobi, but you've got the added costs of fuel, you've got the added extra, is it going to start, plus all the maintenance with you know, servicing a petrol powered piece of equipment. Now Ryobi does make a is it their HP series, so they make a new more powerful one which is about $250. So that sort of, you know, sits right in between these two here that I'll show you. I just really don't know if that extra $100 for the Ryobi HP series is kind of worth it, because after handling some, I was nearly going to buy, well actually I did buy a new Ryobi reciprocating saw, and I was tossing up, do I pay the extra $100 odd? Oh no, it might have even been more than that, sorry. I think for skin only it was like $280. I don't think it came with a battery, but I can't remember now, but it was $280 for the HP reciprocating saw, and when I was looking at the stats on the back, I just couldn't see the value in that, considering it's still made of cheap plastic, and the batteries are pretty shit. So I just went with buying a standard Ryobi reciprocating saw, or saber saw, whatever you want to call them. My last one did last that 15 years, 16 years sort of time frame. It actually did lots of work. It's probably the tool that I hammered the most, and it copped a hiding and still worked. It was stolen, that's the only reason I had to replace it. So yeah, anyway, I'll turn it off here. I'll open these boxes up. I may as well just show you what's in the boxes. I'm not really one of these people, but anyway, here we go. So this is how the two boxes come when you just open the main lid. You can see the Ego just has that little bit of extra wrapping on it, the plastic, and I guess they've separated their bits and pieces a little bit more with just that little bit of extra cardboard than these things just floating around. But yeah, not too really fussed about that much. Let's get into putting them together. Rightio, so here we are. They're just fresh out of the box. I've just laid them out. They just need to be clipped together. They don't really need any explaining. I haven't read any instructions on one of those blokes, don't really, unless I get stuck. You can, most things like this, you can sort of just see where it all goes. That little stud's gonna obviously poke out of there. Same with that little stud there, that's gonna poke out the top here. Vice versa. There's that little stud. This little clip's obviously going to go over the top of it, and there's another little studdy thing there. That there's a little button here. Obviously, that's going to clip over the top of it. So, I'm assuming, yep. There we go. That clipped in. Obviously, it's going to be hard to do while I'm holding my phone in my hand. Yep. Well, I'll put the phone down, put them together, and we'll have a bit of a run. Right, so you should be able to see these. I'm going to turn them on. I didn't read the instructions, so I'm just sort of making it happen. Okay, so I'm just going to point them at the ground here and just blast in at the ground and just see what happens. by the sounds of it and by the look of that. Okay, so there's a night and day difference there. And hang on, let's just do this one more time, just really quickly. We'll just move up here a little bit more. Okay. Okay, so just straight away we can tell there that from like a couple of seconds of use, not even use, just a quick little squirt, there's really no comparison in the power. Even when you actually turn it on and the recoil you get sort of thing, the blowback, pushback you get from them is significant. So I guess in a way, the Ego is far superior in probably every single way, even though I've only had it on for a couple of seconds. Just the holes that it left in the ground, and not only did it, I'm sure you can actually hear the difference. You can hear the difference, you can see the difference, you can feel the difference. The batteries are far more superior. Yes, they do cost more, but I suppose you could get what you pay for. The build quality, the materials they're made out of, obviously the Ego is far superior in that as well. Is it worth double? Probably. I think so. Will the Ryobi make do? Sure. So give us a couple of seconds and I'll try and come up with something else. So here's the two patches. The one on the right hand side is the Ego, and it's probably going to be hard to see through the camera, but it is actually not only cleared all of this loose stuff, but it's removed all of that loose stuff, exposed all the cracks in the clay soil, but it's actually blown all the loose stuff out of a lot of the cracks. And like, that's quite deep. The Ryobi has done it a little bit there as well, but the patch is significantly smaller. So the Ryobi will do what it needs to. Obviously it's going to take twice as long. The Ryobi's half the price, or even less, it's a third of the price, but it probably does, yeah, about a third of the work. Okay, let's look at this angle here. I've just noticed from where I am here, looking at these other two, I can actually see the depth in that one there compared to that one there. There is a little tiny bit of depth to that, but considering that was as quickly as I could turn the machines on and off, there's significantly more debris and material moved there. So yeah, that's just first little conclusions. Rightio, so these are two holes that I dug with my Ego post hole digger. It's a 200mm hole. This is 100. I didn't really clean that one out. What I think I'm going to do is I might go on each side of these holes and just blow away some of that dirt there and just see what happens, okay? Rightio, so I'll do the right hand side. I'm doing this left-handed, so it's going to be a bit spastic, but anyway, here goes the Ego on the right hand, very right hand side of the hole. Gets a bit excited, this thing actually. Not bad. Not bad at all for something that costs nothing. Well, I got on a redemption thing. Okay, here's the Ryobi. Let's give it its best shot. Now the Ryobi's got a 5 amp hour battery compared to the 2.5 that's in the Ego as well. Okay, here we go. Yeah, rightio. Okay. I don't even think that we need to do any more filming, do we, guys? Okay, so I'm not even going to worry about doing any more testing. It's like night and day. If you have the money and you want to, you know, blaze away with your all your dirt or your lawn clippings and your leaves and things like that, it's not even a contest, not even a race. The Ego kicks its ass. Ryobi, I've been putting up with the Ryobi's performance for, you know, like I said, 15, 16 years. It did the job. Did the job for a while, and it will get you through if you're on a real extreme budget. It'll just take 3 times as long, maybe more, and it won't remove wet grass, and it won't remove wet leaves that are like sticking to your driveway or the road or a patio or something like that. The wet leaves, stubborn ones, they will stay. I think that Ego will just like blow them away. Okay, what else have we got? So what I was considering doing was I had this little contraption here. I was going to push the blowers against that and see if they'd push them forward, but we don't even need to do that test, honestly. I'm just wasting both of our times. And I thought, while I was here, there's my old faithful Ryobi line trimmer, whippersnipper, we call them in Australia, and there's the Ego one. Do I even bother? I honestly don't think I need to, but maybe it's just this would be how pathetic is the Ryobi. Okay, so turn off now if you're not interested, guys, but I'll just put it up for those who just want to have a giggle. It's just comedy now. Okay, so for those who are still here, this is the Ryobi line trimmer, 18 volt. This is quite old. It's at least 10, maybe 12 years old. It's done its fair share of work, and I've noticed it seems to be a little bit more loose in the head here. I could probably do up a couple of screws and that might do something, but again, it's light duty, very light duty, I'd say. It's done the job for us over the years. It wouldn't do heavy trimming jobs, but if you get a lawnmower dude in, or if you've got a proper whippersnipper and the job gets done properly, and then just in between the lawnmower dude coming around or whatever, if you stay on top of it with this thing, it'll get you through. But if you want to tackle things like this, it's probably not the right tool for the job. Anyway, that's what I'm going to test it on. I'll be doing it left-handed, just one hand while I'm holding my camera. It's actually going to be a bit hard to do, but anyway. Oh my god. Okay. So it did take the leaves off. It won't touch that. But mind you, I don't think the Ego will really do that. The Ego, sorry, the Ego's a lot bigger, heavier, and more powerful machine. So I'm probably not going to be able to do it with one-handed with my left hand. So what I'm going to do is I'll put the phone in the tripod and I'll come back and we'll hit this other side. Okay, I'm going to do a sound test, okay, just so you can hear the power difference. Okay, I'll be quick. Ryobi first. There you go. Okay, might not be able to tell too much from the sound difference, but here we go. Now what's left there, that is pretty tough. The brush cutter will take just a tiny little bit more off the top of that, but other than that, that's about as good as you're going to get from a whippersnipper. Rightio guys, you've seen enough. Jury's out. Ego's heaps better. But the Ryobi does work. It will do most jobs slowly, but more cost effective as well. Okay, thank you.